those days, we used to see plenty gifts like this. Mr. Dale, Mr. Dale, Mr. Dale, Mr. Dale. It's like
you're there to compliment, not to criticize. Let them know your yes is yes, your no is no. Don't go the way of blaming. Which profession can give me time to be available with my children and see impact life? And I chose the way of education. And the most important thing is communication. There's nowhere in your corner can be able. The only person that can fulfill that purpose is God. So
welcome back to the Green Coach, a place where we nurture your roots so you have the right fruit. You guys, I am so excited because today is a special day. It's our month of love. Because it's a month of love, I said I must, because I love you guys, I will do something special. And we have a special guest today, and I'm sure you cannot guess who, but like, it's going to be an amazing time. Today, our special guest is someone I thoroughly value, someone that means so much. Like, you have no idea how much she means. Yeah. And she's a woman of valor. She's a woman of, the people is one woman. She's that type of person. And she's someone who's going to come and give us a lot of diamonds, a lot of mic dropping words that will change your life. So you don't want to go anywhere. This person is someone that has been in the education industry for 35 years, right? 35 years from being a teacher, in several Montessori's, and to put it proper, she's now the head of school, or was the head of school. She's also a pastor, has been in the ministry for 20 years plus, saving lives, building lives, things like that, building marriages. She's been married for more than 33 years now, or 33 years in this year, I guess. So just know that there's a lot of gold mines about to come up. But more importantly, outside of all those things I just mentioned, she is my drum roll. Please welcome my mother, Pastor Mrs. Adeshola Laleye. Yay! So, how excited are you to be here on the Green Coach?
I'm very happy to be here this morning on Green Coach platform. It's a pleasure. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you so much for her to drag down beggar like come and give this people all the gems that I have because of her. Let them come and learn from the source directly, right? Wow. Our focus today will generally be around marriage, children, and things like that, because again, that's where I guess a lot of experience, a lot of things, value I've gotten from you. So I said, come and share those things here. So if you're getting married, you're about to marry, you're already married, you're raising a child, this YouTube video is for you. As you're here now, go and invite your friends, everybody else answer watching. No. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so first question will be, obviously, you're going to be 3 years this year, in December. So when you first started, like how people say, oh, marriage at the beginning or marriage in the early years is tough or whatever. So I think the question is, what was how did you navigate those first years to the point whereby now you're 3 years and you're strong and everything?
Thank you very much for that question. So I used to tell people that marriage is not a man's idea, it is God's idea. So if you know that marriage is God's idea, then you need to connect to the manufacturers, to the person that created marriage. So I got married as a believer, and I know that God is the source, is everything that can help me to navigate marriage. I used to tell people that marriage is, can liken it to a triangle shape, God at the top, the man, and the woman. So the more deeper connection you have with God as a man or as a woman, the better your relationship. But most of the times we focus more on ourselves, on the man, on the spouse, expecting everything to looking for somebody that will make us happy, looking for somebody that will fulfill all our heart desire, and leaving God out of it. So when you do that, then you have challenges, because marriage is not a bed of roses. marriage is work. You are going there to work, just like when you go to the university. Then, yes, I mean, in marriage, they hand over the certificate to you at the beginning of the marriage. But in university, you have to go through courses, you have to go through challenges, you have to face some difficult lecturer, but you work because you have a goal. You work towards that, I mean, achieving that goal. So also marriage is not something you can put on autopilot. Oh, I'm married now, so it will work. No, it's something you have to connect to God, asking for help, asking for the fruit of the Spirit, asking the Lord to humble you, because marriage will humble you as a man, as a woman. Because you know, you are coming with that say, oh, I'm in charge. But you are you now enter and you feel, oh, it's not like that. Too. I think I need to work on it. So I think what helped me most is having God on my side, being humble enough to go to God when I have challenges, and not looking at my spouse as my enemy. We're looking at ourselves, oh, there's an external enemy that I need to fight. Most of the time why people have challenges because they feel this person is intentionally doing some things. And when you begin to see your spouse as your enemy, then there's no way you can work out things. But when you see it as, oh, there's something that I need to fight, there's something that I need to change in me. Because sometimes we look at the other person as the person that will change. But you first of all change and say, oh, what is it that I'm doing wrong that is affecting my spouse, that is making him to do this thing that he's doing? When you look inward, ask the Holy Spirit to open your eyes to the things that you need to correct. And by that, you do that and ask for the grace to be able to navigate. Because I tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy. But God has helped me because I depend more on Him and He's helping me. He helps me. He really helps me.
When we dropped like 10 answers, 10 major, plenty answers in one question. So first things first I learned is connect to God, right? The more connected to God you are, the sweeter your marriage is. Marriage humbles you, and go back and watch the video. I cannot summarize everything, but like those two things I think stood out to me. The one thing I also noticed is that obviously while growing up with you and dad, both of you always, I would say, would sort of, I mean, obviously, really, children are important to you, but you always prioritize like yourselves and your friendship, right? Oh, yes. Yeah, we love you kids, but like, mom and daddy comes first amongst themselves because at the end of the day, that's all of, okay, but most of us have left the house, right? So at the end of the day, it's just both of them. So, what would you say is the importance of, friendship in marriage?
The Bible says the man will leave his family and he will connect with one and both of them become one. And in the book of Ecclesiastes says, your wife, it was talking to the man, your wife is your portion in this life. Children are the heritage of the Lord. And as they grow up, they will leave you. And it now depends on how you have built your friendship. Because if you are living as strangers, I mean, most of the times people focus more on the children, the project, investments they are doing, they leave the friendship. And as you grow old, you find out that you need more, you need each other more. Because, like you said, children will leave the house. They have the purpose, the heritage of God. They need to fulfill purpose, and that's the purpose why God has sent them to you, so that you can raise them and they can go out and make impact in life. So if you don't make friends with your partner, then you live a lonely life. You begin to seek friendship outside, where you have the person that the Lord has blessed you with, that you can develop friendship with. So friendship is very key in marriage, and it's not something that you can. It's not something that is automatic. It's something that you need to develop. You need to be intentional about your friendship with your spouse. You need to do some things. You need to create time together. You need to discuss. You need to fellowship together. You need to be available for each other. You need to be present for each other. It's not just um okay, I'm providing something. Okay, I mean, we have children to cater for. No, create time, communicate, love each other, show it. Let it be obvious to those children, because also you are modeling how they too will raise their kids and they can add more to it from what they have learned from you. So, I mean, from the onset, we prioritize ourselves. Yes, we give our children all the best, like you can come. I mean, we give attention. We are available for them. We are very observant. We meet them at the very point of the need by the grace of the Lord. But then we give ourselves attention because I mean, I met him before I met you. As I mean, so I have to priority my husband first, then the children will later. But not children and then you now give the when you're tired, you now give it to your it doesn't help marriage. It feels I mean the spouse feel that I'm being used. That is why when you don't give each other time, people want to run away. When the children are they want to just be going everywhere, going for parties, doing a lot of things because there is no intimacy with the person they are married to. So that is why at the very beginning, make it a priority, make it a goal. Fellowship with each other, go out, you have intimacy, physical intimacy, and every other thing that will make your marriage, friendship to blossom. It's not because you are married. That is not what will build friendship. It's when it is intentional, when you plan, what to go, okay, how can I make my or partner happy? What are the things I need to do to make this friendship blossom? It is work too. It is work.
I think the next balance to that is yes, be intentional with your friendship and all of those things. But how would you also balance out like I know there's some people that like to do everything with their partner or like they expect their partner to feel every need. As I mean I always say that sometimes I don't think it's possible for a human being to feel all your needs and everything. So how do you balance that out for I mean I understand the friendship part and I agree with you, but how do you balance the other part by some woman who always feel disappointed because or man, whatever, because they're expecting um their partner to be their everything in marriage.
Thank you for that question as well. Well, there is nowhere your partner can be everything. The only person that can fulfill that purpose is God. So when you seek the happiness of the other person, then you will know that you can't expect the other person because it's human, she's human. There is no way a person can feel all the need or can do all the things. The person will feel used. He will not be able to do that. He will be drained, and you don't want your partner to be at that level. So God has not. That is why God said, when God created Adam, he said, "I will give him a helpmate suitable for him that will meet." That means Adam cannot do it alone. Also, Eve cannot do it alone. If God, in His own mightiness, can give somebody a partner, it's not to lord it over him or her. It's for them to be able to work together. So, as couples, you need to bear in mind that home is you're supposed to be partners in progress. When the weakness that you see in your children and in your
Parents,
in your
partner.
partner, that is why you are to compliment. That is, you are not there to criticize or to judge. Oh, my wife is has weakness in this place. Okay, how can I fill that part? My husband is failing in this area. How can I fill that? So by that, you are seeing your marriage as a work in progress, as working together to achieve a goal. So you are not putting all the pressure on the one person. When you put pressure on one person, the person will collapse. That is not the way God created it. That is why we call it partnership. It is a partner working together to achieve a goal, and one person cannot do it. So it has to be a collaboration between the two. So that is the way to go. So you can't expect the other person to, because we have weaknesses, we have strengths. So that is why marriage is there to cover up for our weaknesses and then help the other person to overcome. Until the person is able to overcome, then you're there to compliment, not to criticize.
So the next thing, so it's still marriage, obviously, but like let's go to conflict resolution. How even me, I'm still learning. All of us are still learning. So what's the I guess how do you resolve conflict in your marriage to avoid escalation? I guess.
I used to explain to people conflict is not bad in itself because we all come from different background. We are raised differently.
Mm-hmm.
We have different view of life, point of view. We have the way we handle things, and when we come to into marriage, we carry baggages, and that is to say that there will be conflict. So, but when you see conflict has feedback on how to correct some things, then it won't be a problem. And when you have conflict, the first thing to do is to look at it as a feedback of something that needs to be corrected. And then how do you resolve conflict? Don't go the way of blaming. Oh, you are the one doing that. You need to look at it deeper, in a deeper way. Okay, what is it that is causing this conflict? How do we resolve this conflict? How do we, and the most important thing is communication. So we are in marriage, communication is the lifeline. When you can communicate, look for a better way to do it. There is a principle of communication: when to say it, how to say it, what to say, the right moment to say it. Because sometimes we have a good intention, but when we communicate at the wrong time, we don't get the best out of it. But when you look at opportunity, you look at the uh,
Right time.
right time and right situation to discuss issues, and then you'll be able to discuss it, and then you'll be able to achieve much. And besides it, don't always be set in your way, because sometimes when we want to solve a conflict and the other person is always wanting to win argument, that is when the problem is. You want to always have your way. You want to be the one, whether a man or a woman. And first person to apologize is a one that is spiritually matured. Sometimes we want to say, okay, I mean, what would I say? I mean, what will be taking me for granted? Forget about it. All you want is peace in your home. And if you want peace, sometimes you make the sacrifice of going the first going to taking the first step. And then in conflict resolution, you must learn to forgive freely.
Mm.
Forgive freely, even forgive in advance, because we are human beings, we step on each other's toes. We are also some of us are growing in terms of the fruit of the spirit. So if God has blessed you, is a very, I mean, you are mature in the area of the fruit of the spirit, take the lead, and on the other person is ready to also follow path, and then you have peace in the house. So the most important is don't be set in your way, ready to change, ready to humble yourself, ready to be open to corrections. Don't be, I mean, don't always want to play the win-win. I mean, the winner takes it all.
Mm.
Uh-huh. I mean, just be open and be ready to listen, and then be ready to change.
So let's backtrack a bit and address people that are still single and are looking and praying, are supporting my life. We're praying for us, but praying for where I've gotten us back. So before you get to marriage, as a single person who is waiting on the Lord for a husband or a wife, whatever, what are the things that you need to look out for? Open your eye, shine your eye before you so that you don't enter into a wrong marriage.
First of all, you when you want to go into marriage, you need to set a goal in terms of what kind of a home do I want to build?
Mhm.
What is my vision? As a man, you need to have a vision. What kind of a woman that will fulfill that vision? As a woman too, you need to have a vision. What kind of home do I want to build? And the one you have settled that, you need to go to the Lord. Most of the times people look at the physical things. Yes, I mean the beauty, the physical appearance and all those things, they are good, but they don't sustain marriage. So you need to look at the red flags, like integrity. Does the man have integrity? Can you trust him? Does he have anger issue? Yes, if anger issue is something that the person can work on, then you can go ahead. Is he very abusive? How does he treat people around him? You don't say, oh, he treats me well, he buys things for me, he listens to me. But look at the people around him. The gate man, the house help, the people he relates with. See how he talks to them, see how he relate to them, see how he handle them. Because one thing I want to tell people is you are one person. Yeah, you may be living a double life, but when you are open, you can see, okay, this is you. You can't pretend for a long time. It eventually show. And so that is why I mean, when you are going to a relationship, you have to be observant. Courtship is the time to ask questions, to observe, not just to take yourself out and eat and the rest. When you get into marriage, all those things will stop if you are married the wrong person. And as a believer, does he fear God? Does he know God? Does he love God? So it's very key because a man without God is is I can't let me not use that word because the reason some of us are committed to marriage is not because of the person, it's because of God. Our commitment first to God, we are accountable to God, just like Joseph said to Potiphar's wife, say, I will not do this. It's not against the Potiphar, but against God. So when the man loves God, when the woman loves God, your journey becomes easy because you know that both of you are one and you are fighting the external party. But when both of you are, I mean, you don't know God. There was a friend of mine, and we used to work in the same school. Then he had issue with his marriage, with her marriage, and he's always and then there was time he was praying for the husband. He said, Lord, have my husband. When you have my husband, then I will have a better husband. That means take over. He wanted to lord over him. She wanted to, I mean, lord over him, thinking she can change the man. Don't ever, I mean, when you're single, don't ever think you can change any man or any woman. If what you are saying is not something you can cope with for the rest of your life, don't go into it. But if there are some things that it's just a matter of education, exposure, or some other thing that you can work on. But if it is very basic, it's a very, I mean, the foundation of marriage and it's lacking, please don't go because this is the person you are going to spend the rest of your life with. If Jesus tarries 40 years, 50 years, 30 years, so can you take that? I mean, those things you are seeing, can you enjoy it for 30 years? If you cannot enjoy it for 30, then don't go inside it. It's better to be late than to be in a hurry and then you are if the person has I mean you are in courtship and he's always slapping you and say, oh, he's angry, God is angry. If when he's calm, he doesn't do that, know that you, I mean, you'll be getting beaten of your life all the days of your life in that marriage. Don't overlook some things that you know that this is a red flag. Don't be under pressure. They say, I'm 35, I'm in a con. What would people say? I'm not yet married. No, many people they don't remember you. They remember when there's a problem, they begin to talk about you. So your peace is key. And then one thing I say, connect to God, let God direct you. Don't use physical statistics to marry because those things will fade away. They will even money with, I mean, they will even know that you are living in a mansion when you have issues with marriage. You forget those comforts. So that is why it is very key to connect to God who created marriage to lead you and be obedient to his instruction. Don't value some right things that you think you may not be able to cope with for the rest of your life, and God will help you.
I hope you're having fun. I hope you're learning. I hope you have your notes and you're just writing down. Okay, cool. Let me ask you a personal question. No, all this advice. So, first question is, Daddy, now, did you know he was going to be a pastor before you married him? So, when he came and said, God has called me, oh," what was your reaction? We are going to start church.
Yeah, although we've been he before we got married, we were both Christians. I mean, committed to God, and I love God. I mean, I gave all to. I mean, when I met the Lord, I love God. I gave all to God, but we are just serving. So we didn't have intention of, I mean, having a church. It wasn't a part of the plans. It wasn't at all. But he was a chapel administrator for many years in a bigger church before we moved to another church. And then I know that he's not somebody who loves politics. And he had this issue of, I don't want wahala. Once there are issues, you just leave, and then you still continue to serve God,
God.
but not in the capacity of a leader. But you do whatever you be, maybe whatever he needs to do, but not. So when they told me that God is calling him into ministry, I said, no, no, you can't be, because you don't have the patience to do things through.
Yeah.
There was any little challenge, you say, I don't want politics, I don't want wahala, let me just be serving my God. I said, no. So it took God to speak to me, and we set time to aside to pray, to fast, and then lead pastor then the church we were attending then called me that God does not call a perfect person. He called a person, and then the process is he work on the person and become a useful instrument in his hand. And then without prayer, without conviction, and without leading of the Holy Spirit, so we were able to start a church, just us, myself and my husband and the children. So that we started, and then we invited our pastor then to inaugurate the church, and that was how we started the church.
You guys, this church, I was everything. Oh, I was a choir, we were everything. All of the children, we did everything. Just so you know. Okay, so now I'm going to move into the children aspect, and I'm raising kids, and you've been in education, like I said, for 35 years now, and most of the experience has been in um the early stages of kids, so like Montessori and things like that. So I think one of the things I've heard you say several times that children's formative years are 1 to 5, I mean?
0 to 6.
1 to 6. So what's the reason behind that early stage development?
We have 4 plane or stages of development. We have 0 to 6, which we call formative year or infancy. We have 6 to 12. We have 12 to 18 and 18 to 24.
Okay.
But the 0 to 6 is the formative year where the children or the child is developing his personality, the individual that it will become.
Okay.
And at this stage, the Lord has, God has blessed that age 0 to 6 with 2 special gifts that we call absorbent mind and sensitive period. The absorbent mind is a very broad mind, very wide mind that God has blessed the child with, that is able to absorb a whole lot of things. Because when they come, they come into an environment which is called nature. And then God has given them the ability. That's why they can absorb a whole. The mind of a child is like a camera, it captures. It doesn't filter everything in the environment. It capture because it's building the person that will become. If you see an aggressive person now, that aggression did not start at age 12. It started at age 0 to 6 when he was forming his personality. And that formation is because of the atmosphere that the child was exposed to. Was no, because whatever the child becomes is the person is because of the things he has built. Maybe the nanny, the environment, the atmosphere that he was exposed to. So and the child is absorbing it because he doesn't have that capacity to analyze whether something is good or something is bad. Like an adult mind, we liken the adult mind to painting. When you are painting, which if you don't like it, you can correct it, you can make adjustments until. But for a child's mind, he doesn't have it. At 0 to 3, that 0 to 6 is broken into 0 to 3. That is the unconscious absorbing mind, where the child just absorb a whole lot of things. But by 3 to 6, it's becoming conscious. That is why you see them, their obedience at that level is not you can't really blame them, because they just, when they feel like obeying, they obey. And when they feel like doing what they want to do, they do, because they are that stage until they get to maybe 3 to 6, when they begin to analyze things and they have that conscious, okay, I need to be, and they're still in that level of obedience. So that is why at that stage, the atmosphere you create for the child is very key. What you expose the child to is very key. Who is raising your child is very key, because the child is forming the person he will become, the adult he will become, whether a happy person, whether an aggressive person, whether a wicked person. It is from that stage. That is why you are the role model, you are the first person they have contact with as parent. So that is why you cannot afford to live a double life. The child does not do what you say, he will do what you do. If you say don't do that, you're doing it, he will do more than what you expect. That is why that age is very key, is very key. Mind what you expose the child to, and mind who is raising your child, because the child becomes the person he built all the time. Thank you.
Where did you decide to go into? Was it by luck, or did you just like children, or like how? What was the story behind you starting to build or invest in the lives of children?
Yes, I love children and I love to impact life. I love to see children develop from one stage to a stage. I believe in a child unfolding. I believe the best of the child. I don't see a child, I don't, how do I put it now? I don't give up on the child. I've worked in several international schools and I've seen, children have gone through with me. And what gives me joy is that to see a child from moving from one level to another. It may not be there yet, but there's a lot of progress. So when they come in, no matter the level they have, my joy is to see them achieve something. And I've enjoyed even a parent comment that thank you, Mrs. Lale, this is my child came in like this, and this is the level. Yes, it's good to celebrate the very achiever, but those one who are struggling, how are you impacting their life?
Yeah.
Do you give up on them? I don't give up on any child. From my, people that know me, that people that know me know that I don't give up. So that is why sometimes they will create. I would not expect because I'm not trained in
Special needs.
special needs, so I'm not. But there are some people that they are slow learners. They just need the encouragement. They just need a push, and then as teachers, we should have that belief that this child will unfold. He will eventually achieve. He may not achieve as much as the high flyer, but he's going somewhere. It may take time, but we'll get there. But when you don't give up on that child, you encourage, you push, you monitor, and then eventually you see that child achieve something. And that is, you celebrate the achievement, the progress, the effort, not the achievement alone.
Hmm.
So, and that is one. Then number two, then in those days I wanted to be available for my children.
Yeah.
So and I said, oh, which profession can give me time to be available for my children and see impact lives? And I choose the way of education. So then we used to close by once. I was able to take them to school, bring them back, have time with them. So that was what really pushed me to education, and I've never regretted it because I've impacted life. I've seen struggling children, achieve much, and some of them are overseas now. They are doing great things. Their parents will even say, if you see your boy, that was is doing this. So that was the joy. And the foreign that they were young, they may not know me, but God knows the impact, and is a rewarder of faithfulness.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can attest to that too, because so working in one of this very popular, I won't mention the name of the school, like one of these popular Montessori schools. Those days we used to see plenty gifts like this. Mrs. Dale, Mrs. Dale, Mrs. Dale, Mrs. Dale. It's like we are the ones to eat and chop all the candies and the gifts and the cakes and everything. I'm just confirming awards that parents love that like crazy. But yeah, how do you balance discipline with love? There's this term now, gentle parenting and non gentle parenting. Everybody has different definition of what gentle parenting is. I don't even know what they mean again. But like there's this, at those days now, they used to flog and beat, but like I said, we no longer flog in this generation. But obviously, I have a third line. I sometimes be like, I cannot be looking at you. Sometimes I feel like I want to span. But how was your own thoughts? Like when raising, like how do you enforce discipline on a child?
Hmm. Well, the word discipline, sometimes people misinterpret it. When we talk about discipline, you think it's punishment. Most of the time, discipline is not punishment. It's modeling the right thing, showing the child this is the way to do it. Do it all most of the time. When the child make mistakes, remind the child, oh, this is what you should do. This is what we agreed to do. These are the consequences of not doing it. And in this generation, say they want to raise happy child or happy children. And I mean, there is no way you can. You are not called to raise happy children alone. We are called to raise happy and responsible children, because parenting is equipping the child for the reality of life. And when we raise a happy child who is lawless, it's not the teacher that will suffer it. It's you that will suffer it at old age. The Bible says, train the child in the way he should go. When he grows up, he will not depart from it. So the training is involving the parenting, even knowing what to impart. Be available for the child emotionally, physically, spiritually. And like I said, discipline is not about punishment, it's about showing the child the right thing to do and observing that when there is a deviation, not giving up on the child, making sure you are correct. Yes, you can beat when there is need, but beating should be the last
Results.
resort to discipline. Disciple, go away. Don't be a double standard parent, because you are the first role model. Be available, be observant, listen to them. But when you listen, you know where to come in, you know what the child is thinking, and you know how to correct it. That is discipline. Oh, this is the way. And then there's what we call consistency. Let them know your yes is yes, your no is no. Not that, mommy, when you say, can you will not do it. If you say, if you throw this thing, you will not do this. Let the child know that you will not do it. Not that it's a child. I mean, it's a child. Mommy will just say, you're just back and not do it. But when you know that for every action, there is consequences. There is consequence, and it can be natural consequence. It can be the other way. Natural means that, okay, I've cooked food. You say you don't want, then you should go hungry. Then there can be other one. I said don't throw toys, and then you did it, and then there's consequence. Maybe you must have agreed. Okay, oh, if you throw it, I'm going to pack those toys and you not use for the rest of. I mean, for 1 week. Let the child know. And then once he does that, you pack everything and then you move it for one
One
week.
week. Hmm.
He will know that, oh, if I really want to
Mama
enjoy
really
this,
means what she says.
it means what he says, and so he will not do it. And then send boundaries. No, that what we call love and law. Love without law is lawlessness, and you cannot achieve discipline. But when you say love with, I mean, law without love, also you are raising an emotional imbalanced person, because the person will just say, you have do. I mean, don't. I focus on the do. This is, and then get them involved in setting boundaries. Okay, this is our rules, or as a family, this is what we want to be doing. And then if you don't do it, what should we do? Like when I was in school, I mean, when I was in active service in the class, we set up boundaries and we get all the children involved. So even the children will be the one saying, oh, you must do your you must observe your
Yeah.
your consequence, because they are part of the formation of the consequence. So get them involved. Law and
Love.
law should work together, set boundaries. And then, like I said, discipline is not punishment. I can't remember anytime I've beaten you, but we talk. Maybe once, or I mean, I can't remember, because it's only talking.
Now the person
And
they beat they remember is it that
so discipline is more of modeling the right thing, making sure that you are consistent in whatever you give, and then be compassionate about it. No, no, when we say compassionate, it means don't judge the child, judge the act. You know, some of us,
Hmm.
when the child has done something wrong, we start abusing the child instead of correcting the situation, letting the child, oh, I love you, but I don't know what you have done. And then because I don't know what you have done, we need to take consequence for this. So the child knows that it's not me per se. Mommy
The
loves me,
action.
but it's the action that she's against. Just like our God, Lord, God loves everybody, but he hates the sin. And once you can remove the sin, you enjoy an abundant love, unending love of God. So that is where I see discipline. But you too must be a disciplined person. You cannot give what you don't have. So that's the problem with our modern. They don't have the discipline. You go to to your child's school and be bullying, the slapping, and the drinking to the teacher because you want to. You want no. You have shown the child that so you
Anyway,
can
can go.
any way you can do. I'm behind you whether you have done wrong. Whether no, I'm not saying that you should encourage bullying, but there's a better way to do it. When you see your child being bullied, the way to communicate to don't go and mess up in front of your child and just say, oh, this the world is wicked. You will not be there at all time. I will not be able to handle challenges of life because challenges will come here and you're not there. But if you have learned how to resolve, you have taught your children how to resolve conflicts anywhere the area they do, then they'll be able to solve it. And then, like I said, I used to say, at this tender age, show them, develop in them good values, kindness, mental toughness, honesty, forgiveness, same spirit. Let them see life as it's not a competition. You're not competing with each other. Some people they cannot handle it. Once they are engaged, they are engaged in some things and they are not the one winning. They begin to throw tantrums. Let them know that you cannot always have your way all the time.
Hmm.
So that way the child is developing discipline and but you have to that to come from you first. Let them see you as a disciplined parent and then they can model it and they can show it to the world.
I hope you're learning. Final question is, what's the importance of prayer and God in the children's life? Because one thing, my mother used to pray for us. So why were you praying for us? What was the importance?
Mm. Importance of prayer. You know, Bible calls children the heritage of the Lord. And because God is they are the heritage of the Lord, you need to connect to their creator. You need to ask the Lord to help you. You need to pray for them because the Bible says when men slept, the enemy sowed seed. So the importance of prayer cannot be overemphasized. You are praying for their future. You are praying against the enemy because the enemy is not also looking. Because the children they have purpose, they have vision. They are created for an assignment. And the enemy is not looking to make sure he's working. Bible says he's working to and fro, looking for whom to devour. And now it starts very early. So that is why you too, as a parent, you cannot afford to be sluggish when it comes to the place of prayer. Because prayer makes way for it goes before you and makes every crooked path straight. So I mean, it's something I do. I pray for them, pray for their vision, pray for their health, pray for protection, pray for so many other things. When I observe things that I do not like, I go praying. Yes, I may correct, but I know that sometimes it may not be it may be attack of the enemy. So I correct and I also go praying. I prophesy into their life. I go in the night, I lay my hands upon them, I pray for them because I know everything is not physical. Yeah, no, everything is not physical. Everything is spiritual. What you see in the life of children, they are, it first happen in the invisible, and then after that, it begins to manifest. So that is why you cannot uh, take the role of God. You need to point them to God at the very tender age. Because, like I said, absorbent mind, they can absorb. When you introduce them to God, the first contact, then they will grow, and then you show them. You can continue to, it's continuous work. It's not, oh, like I said, parenting is not a bus stop. It's not, oh, I have a child now. That's no. It's a long life service. Till you die, you are still parenting. You may not be actively parenting at old age, but at least you can still give advice. So that is why the issue of prayer is very key. Connecting them to God. Use Bible to correct them. Let them know that, oh, you are not just using mouth. Show them the word of God. Show them the things and how it happens, the consequence of disobedience. Most importantly, prayer is key. Like we say, prayer is the key. Prayer is the key. Prayer is the key. Master key. It's the master key. Because
Yeah.
the Bible, even Jesus modeled prayer for us.
Yeah.
He go, no, most of the time, Bible very early in the morning. He will go,
Separated
he will say
himself.
himself and pray.
Yeah.
In the night, he pray because you know that you can't without. I mean, you can't do it with that strength. It's not about smartness. It's not about intelligence. It's about asking help from God who created the children and who knows how best they can be. I mean, thank you.
Yay! Thank God. All right, thank you. That was, I mean, I was blessed just being here and listening, and I've jotted on a couple of things that I've noticed. Especially for that, my children have a toddler, so I'm learning. So yeah, if you enjoy, I know you, if you, I know you enjoyed it, so please, if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Share the video to those you feel like you need it, and will bless by it to your friends, your parents, your family, your sister, your everybody. Right? Share it all to them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.